Hi everybody, welcome back to this video series on my H15 and my winter modifications that I'm going to be doing to it. So today's video is going to be all about taking this machine apart, getting it ready for what I'm about to do to it over the course of the winter. So we're going to be, just to recap, we're going to be changing out all the hydraulic fluid, the oil. We're going to be adding a hydraulic oil cooler, filter. We're going to be putting on a hydraulic thumb. We're going to be putting in an electrical panel, some additional switches, and we're going to be adding a cushion valve to this machine. There might be a few other things along the way that I come up with, but each one I'll do individually on a video so that you can easily find it in a search or from a playlist that I'm creating on this series of, can you get a cheap Chinese excavator, fix it up over the winter, and put it to work in the spring and summer, and how does it fare? So I purchased obviously some more expensive units, got rid of one of them. I still have my little tiny Jansen MB500, which I love, by the way, and it's a high quality machine. And we're gonna kind of compare these two side by side, not for strength obviously, because this one's much bigger, but for functionality and which one is nice to have around the house. Maybe it's both, maybe it's just one or the other. We're gonna find out. But today we're just gonna be taking this thing apart, and I'll just show you. It shouldn't be too complicated because most of this stuff is pretty simple, but we're gonna start here with these, they all give you these cheap Chinese little carpets here, and it's kind of funny because they're all about the same on all the units, but this one just slides over the pedals obviously to get off, it looks like, and making it a little fun to do here with one hand, but that's okay. I don't know if I'm going to keep this or not. I got to be honest with you. I'm on the fence. I see a lot of guys, they go up to Harbor Freight and they get the ones that are the diamond plate rubber panels that come in like, I think 12 by 12 squares. They look that looks nice. And they put those on. This one's kind of a pain in the neck, to be honest with you, to get on and off all the time if you're going to do it. And they get dirty and dirt gets up underneath here. So I might just ditch this and put diamond plate underneath it. So I haven't decided yet. So we're going to find out. I think that's probably what I'm going to do though. But it looks like on this machine, this panel 100% has to come off. So these pedals here and these arms have to come off for you to do that. And it appears there's a nut down here and they're screwed in straight down. I should just be able to turn these and unscrew them. And that is the case. So we're going to go ahead and take these babies off. Pretty simple. And as I told you before, I'm going to see about getting foot pedals for this. I'll see what all the other guys are doing and maybe see if I can get foot pedals for those controls. But we'll just set these over here for now. Try to keep everything organized so it doesn't get lost over the winter. And again, it just appears that these unscrew. I'm going to need a wrench on this one. So, okay, this is a 17 millimeter nut that is currently on here. There we go. So you just need to loosen that nut a little bit, and then this will come right off. And it looks like both of them have a little bit of a pre-bend in them, so that doesn't look to be an error. That's there on purpose to kind of tilt back towards you. But there's one. Here, that's very easy to get those off. 13 millimeter bolts for the floor pan. There's one. Two. And that pans off. Now I have no idea what the bolts are on this machine and if they're all the same or not. So I'm going to take and keep track of these. I like to label Ziploc bags. If they're all different, we're going to label them for what component they came off of and then put them back in our little Chinese toolbox until I reassemble. But for now, I'm just going to see if they're all the same. I think on a lot of these machines, these bolts are all going to be the same, so I won't have to worry about necessarily labeling them for where they went because they're all going to be the same bolt. So we're going to find that out as we go along here. But for now, let's go ahead and take this pan off and see what's under there. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. And it appears that's all you need to take that back cover off. And it's big. It's not super heavy. I don't know, I'd say this is maybe 25, 30 pounds. So way heavier than the ones that the other machines had, those little flimsy ones that I showed you at the auction machines. This thing feels really nice and substantial. Okay, so let's see if there's anything back here that's going to make me want to take any additional panels off. You know, obviously I can take these panels off, they come off, but it looks like they're integral to the top here. So the way they constructed this machine is they have a big welded, frame over here, but everything comes together as one big box and bolts together. So it all forms the basis of the cage here that you sit on, or the box that you sit on. So if you take these off, then this becomes loose. So I see no reason to go any further. I think this is fine. It looks like I can get to everything. I can add my old cooler right here. Plenty of room to put it there. And I can put a fan over here. There's just tons of room in here. This is really nice. Here is that monster counterweight I told you about. You know, in the other machines, they had stacks of weights on here that were with big bolts going through, and they're individual plates. It looks like they've gone to a different system now where it's just a solid, it's not cast, it's metal, so maybe this is just covering up those weights underneath here. But this is one of the reasons, like I said, I chose this machine because of this weight right here. I love having that counterweight in the back. It just adds stability to the machine. So everything here is nice and accessible to get to. I can go ahead and add the cooler, and like I told you, the cushion valve will be added back there because up here you do have it is a little tight up here for, for the cushion valve, it might just sit right back there behind that battery. That might be a nice place for it, but we'll see. As we delve into it, all this will become apparent. But again, this machine, because of its design, it's just, everything's kind of laid out here and in the open. So I'll be able to get to everything. So it's going to be a fun project. I'll take measurements on these seat bolts here and make sure that the seat I'm ordering will fit on that pattern here. Not a big deal if you need to drill new ones, but it's always nice when they fit, and I'll order that seat. So what I'm going to do now is just wait for all the mods. I'm going to order them all at one time. I'm going to lay them out for you and have them here ready to go so I can do them all at once. So when it comes time to put this thing together, I'll do one mod at a time, one video per mod, so that you can follow along with your own machine. And then at the final end of it, we'll replace all the fluids, and then we'll be able to go out and try this machine. It'll probably be before spring by then, but maybe we'll get some nice weather and we can go out and at least play in the driveway with it. So that's all for today. Next time we'll have all the mods here, and then we'll get started on modding this machine out for the winter. So until next time, please like and subscribe. This is Jeff with the Excavator channel. And are you digging or are you filling?